Hi, I'm Catherine and I'm editor of Reader's Digest magazine, and I'd like to welcome you to our May issue. With me today I've got James Walton. Hello,
Hi.
James.
Hi, Catherine.
Who's our books editor. Now the May issue is special because we'll be announcing the winners of our 100-word story competition. We need a drum roll there, I think. So far the editorial team have gone through all of the entries. We had thousands of entries and they've painstakingly gone through and read all of them, and we've come down to this shortlist here, and James and I will be judging and choosing the winners. So James, what have you read so far that you've enjoyed?
I mean, dozens of stories
Yeah.
that I've really enjoyed. I've been judging this for 3 years now, and well, first of all, they seem to get better. The standard seems to get higher every year. And secondly, even though I've been doing it for 3 years, it's a constant source of surprise just how much you can pack into a 100-word short
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
When the idea was first mentioned, I could imagine you just get a little sort of anecdote or a little joke in disguise, and you do get some of those. But actually, you can do an awful lot with 100 words.
Yeah, it's clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Clever writing,
Yeah.
clever. A lot of thought has gone into all these
Exactly.
stories, actually.
I mean, you get the sense of every word having to fight for its life in a way,
Yes.
and justify its existence. And in the best of these, they definitely do. This is by Maisie Ayres. Remember the word Maisie for later in the story, which is called Showtime. And here we go. The crowd roars as I nervously prepare to sing. My heart is pounding, my ears are buzzing, and my mind is racing. What if I make a mistake? Excitement fills my system as I take to the stage. A rush of joy hits me, and electricity seems to run through my veins as I open my mouth to begin. I become lost in the song and get transported to another world. All my fears melt like butter. The crowd screams my name. I belt out the final verse. Maisie, get out of the shower. I step out. Sadly, the show's over.
Aww,
So terrific.
singing
So
in the shower. We've all
she
done
kind
it.
of knows that she's only singing in the shower, and yet she's not only singing in the shower.
Yeah.
She is singing to a massive audience.
Yeah.
And another thing that children do very well, I think, is to make ordinary objects quite magical. Here's one. See if you can see what the ordinary object is. It sounds, when it starts off like a grumpy bloke, not unlike myself, perhaps walking through London, but then it isn't. This is by Katie Harris. 8 a.m. in the morning. People already asking for money. Can't I just have 10 seconds without anybody asking? Maybe I want to keep some of the money. No one thinks of that. I might want to have a day out. I swear I gave you £50 last week. Okay, if you say so. I only get fed once a day because everyone's taking my money. Sometimes I have to say no because something's not right. I'm starting to get fed up now. Every day it's the same. Next person inserts their card, and there goes more of my money. And I don't think I'll ever use an ATM machine again now without thinking that machine's thinking, what are these people taking all my money away from me for?
Yes.
I thought that's terrific, and there's
Yeah.
a lot like that. They're very, very good.
Yeah, that's Katie Harris.
Katie
That's
Harris.
from very imaginative. Yeah, really good. And
Yeah.
there was another good story we read earlier about Lego, where the whole world had turned into a Lego world that someone had written about, and that was really good too. And I also enjoyed this one. This from the adults category. It's from Ian Dixon, and he says, "The room was cold, the seat hard, a harsh light speared down, reflecting from clinical walls. He paced, his steps making a dull thud before returning to that uncomfortable chair. Why this? He was strong, physically fit, mentally sharp, a man used to seeing others jump at his decisions, but now he was cornered, trapped in this small space, awaiting an authority that could break him." So we've still got no idea of exactly how this is
It's
going
not
to
looking good for this guy.
Not looking good. We don't know how it's going to end up. He had known worse than this before and survived, only this time he battled fear itself, tensions mounting. The door opened and a stern voice announced his fate. "Mr. Johnson, the dentist will see you now." So what's lovely about that is just a whole build-up. You don't quite know how it's going to end. And again, I would say in all of the stories, every entry that we've had this year, the whole thing about the twist and the suspense has been really fantastic. And as you say, with only 100 words to play around with, incredibly well done.
I mean, literary purists would identify there a beginning, a middle and an end,
Yes.
a story arc in 100 words. And not only that, I think you can have sort of shifts of tone in 100 words. This is one I liked, where I thought it starts off kind of funny and ends up, well, it gets increasingly sinister. And there's an entire backstory, and it's 100 words. It's called Tit for Cat, by the way, by Claire Banks. Buttons glances up at the window. Green eyes trace the climb. Garden wall, kitchen roof, drain pipe. Best paw forward and up. Finding her pillow, she deposits a little gift in the dent. Out and wait. A shriek. "Richard, that bloody cat! Yes! Better than a disemboweled rat in the bath. Such fun dreaming up punishments. Hooray for reincarnation." And how come she remembers her old life? Maybe because she'd broken the rules. She hadn't meant to top herself. Just scare her husband and his silly mistress. Now, if she could just work out how to turn the gas taps on.
Oh.
It needs a kind of duh there, and a well-earned duh as well.
Yes.
That's terrific.
Yeah, fantastic on just a whole shift of tone, exactly as you said.
And quite a lot of sort of pain behind the story. There's a whole kind of backstory just missing. Talking of the gloominess, did you feel the stories were a bit gloomier this year? Do you feel future social historians of this short story would be able to tell there was a recession on at the moment?
Yeah, I think definitely we have read a few really very well expressed stories where people are clearly affected by the recession and what's happening, and the worry about jobs and money and so on, and from adults and children alike, it's definitely been something. But you know, you're right about the time that you're living in and what you're experiencing, so it's, you know, it's natural that would have come through. But definitely, I think, as you say, in the future, when people look back on these competitions, they'll definitely think, those were the recession years.
Let's hope in 5 years' time there'll be a series of happy stories.
yes.
Summer of love all over again.
Absolutely.
But yes, no, I thought they were gloomy, but powerfully gloomy, quite a lot of them.
Yeah. And another one here that I really liked, also from the adult category. This is from Abby Glidden, who is 28. And it goes like this. The tweed was a little tight, and frankly, the heavy waistcoat did not flatter Julie's feminine figure. But inspecting herself in her father's wardrobe mirror, she thought she looked apart. She could see his strong brow in hers, the cut of her chin just like his. The funeral was about to start, and she was nearly ready. Julie's mother would be surprised to see her in the suit, it having lain so long in mothballs. Yet it deserved one final outing, and this sombre occasion would be just right. She wiped her tears and began drawing on the moustache, which I think is absolutely lovely, you know, and you think of someone preparing to go to a funeral and how poignant the whole thing is, and I think Abby's really expressed that fantastically well here. It's a very, very good story.
Congratulations to everyone would be my final message.
Yeah, so thanks. James and I will carry on and we'll get through the pile and choose the winners. Thanks to everyone who submitted a story. Whether you've got through to this pile or not, no matter, they have been fantastic stories. We're really thrilled to have had them, and thank you for supporting the competition. Good luck to everybody. We'll be announcing the winners in the May issue, so which is out now, so just grab a copy as quickly as you can. Thanks again, thank you, and thanks, James.
A great pleasure. I've enjoyed it very much again.